I think what you're referring to is actually bitumen.
Okay, it's got a rag. That's my hand for being dirty.
Bitumen.
That's fine. Not having dirty hands.
So how else do people know you've been wrenching?
I don't want people to know I've been wrenching.
But how are you meant to get the E-fame, Matt?
I don't have any E-fame.
Because you haven't been wrenching.
I want the E-fame, I just get my boots out. Become one of them traps.
Today on Bucket Industries, arguments about gloves.
Bitumens.
So, as you probably worked out, we're going from the Carby 3236 Weber to this fuel injection. We're going to build just a straight NA system, so exactly the same setup as what's on the bucket from before, except just no Weber anymore. There's nothing wrong with it, except it's just got a flat spot in it, and to get it rebuilt probably the way to do it, but time, money, I've got all the garbage left over from the old 4Z shitbox, so we're just going to throw it together with stuff we've had, and we're trying to keep it cheap so it's practical and cheap and is able to be done. We don't need to spend millions of dollars, and because 9/10 of Gemini ownership is being a stingy cheap cunt. So this cost a fair bit of money, and I've repolished it all up because it was pretty sad, and I've started going here, which is completely unnecessary, but whatever. You can see a reflection in it almost now. We've got a old Sprint 500 that I bought ages ago. I think that's about $500. You can buy them online for about the same, not through Haltech anymore. And the fact that I'm wearing a Haltech shirt has absolutely nothing to do with sponsorship. Like, they definitely didn't sponsor us anything. Not rousing on them or anything like that, but it's just a shirt I have. Elkin found one of his old fuel pumps, which we think was probably one of our old cars at some point. It's a Bosch, what do we say, 070?
Some old shit.
Some old shit, it'll work.
You know 070s flow almost as good as an 044.
Yeah, I know.
They're out of Volvos.
Yep. We just went down to a guy, Todd. He sold us this on cheap, which is pretty sweet. So I changed the fittings out just because they were pretty big. So these are -6, I think. Adam gave us this cool surge tank setup, which is in the other thing already mentioned. No need for WD-40, but you get the idea. So that'll run. We're talking about trying a deadhead system on this, so having the fuel rig here permanently set. I've never experimented with it, so we'll give it a go. A fuel rail that I found, sorry Willsy, but I didn't think I had it. Willsy wanted one and I thought I threw it away or whatever. So what we are experimenting with is injector sizes. Now Pete sold us, another helpful hero, sold us at LS1 injectors, and these are a standard 4Z1, which is what this manifold is. But for some reason, like, they should seat perfectly in. I don't know if it's the seals are munted or whatever, but they should, like, where's the one I pulled out? They should sit about there, just nice and neat, and when they're pressed in, obviously, like so. So now what we're going to do is work out whether or not we'll use the LS1 injectors, which I would rather do, because we can get bulk of them for fucking nothing. I do need to look into modifying the rail a smidge, because we won't be using this regulator, and it fouls on my fancy plenum, and we can't have that. What else have we got in here, Elkin? I found a couple of sensors that I had lying around. Actually, I think Nick gave us those. That's about it. So I've come in Elkin's shed today while he's doing brake stuff on the coupe. We're going to use Adam's surge tank, which is not being mounted there. A few other knickknacks. We've got injectors. What else have we got?
Ignition coil.
We've got ignition. So Adam from Silly Customs, as he's given us a cool sticker, has given us an LS coil. So we're going to run an LS coil now. Bit of a step up from the old GT40, which is I think, off my 4Z, my original 4Z, and you know, getting rid of that. So we'll run that. Dale from Castle Hill organised us a flying loom for a Sprint 500, which is incredibly cool of him because Haltech haven't done Sprint 500s for what, 2 or 3 years now? Maybe longer than that. So well, there you go. So Amy's gem, I think we got done 2015, and hers, the Sprint 500, wasn't that old then. So for them to have, for Dale to have sorted one out was pretty sweet. Rang Haltech, and Haltech sent it to me. I got it this morning, and I paid for it yesterday. So those who bitch and moan about Haltech this that, that's pretty fucking decent service, really. So yeah, we'll bring more episodes, I suppose. Matt's doing computers or some shit tonight, so he won't be here, but we'll do a little bit of dicking around, a little bit of fitting, and put something together.
Perfect. We'll just take that mount off. We'll fucking use the one from that for a fuel pump. Think of all the extra mileage you'll get, all the range. It's probably probably 4 litre tank. I think like 4 milk cartons in there.
There's 4 milk cartons.
Thereabouts. Maybe even more. Maybe it is 5.
Today we're getting fucking into it. It's time. We're going to pull the inlet off. Elkin's working on his rig. So it's going to come off. We're going to have a look at the hole where the coolant thing goes in for the the Gemini inlet, and play around with my inlet manifold. It's had a little bit of progress since we last did any filming on it, but it's not much. But we're still fiddling with injectors. These are old 4Z ones, which we think we might not use these ones, but we might have to get some new ones. We'll see. We went through LS one. We've been through 2 now fuel rails to make this work. We didn't know that there's 2 types. Actually, where are they? Well, here's the one where this is the one of the ones, and I think the other one is actually in my motorbike bag because I took it home with me. LS1 were a little bit too big. They got these weird fan things at the bottom of them. Well, that's the bottom. I pulled the one off this one. So that's a bit of a bummer, but we'll press on. Started looking at the loom. Pulled it all out of the stuff we're going to use for this. So it's sort of coming together. That's about it. Oh, you're fine, Jono. So basically I've just nut-certed the thing to the floor. They're a mad little invention. You can see me here drilling the holes, zzz, and so on. And then I put the nut-cert in. Pretty sweet. To mention, as we mounted this all up, we might section this bit here just so that sits flat, but it's pretty, it's just a little bit of flex there, but that's stable as. Gonna sort something for that fuel pump. It's never actually had one, it's had this facet pump the whole time. Admittedly, it's done the job, but don't think it's gonna do the job. I don't know, we'll work that out. So that'll have to do for today. Started doing a couple other things while I was at it. We'll continue from there on the next video. So stay tuned.